Okay, everybody, good morning and welcome again. I am happy to see those of you that have been with me in the past and those of you that are new. I see a Elsie. Yeah. Elsie?
Yes. Can
Okay, I
you
want to
hear
be
me?
certain that you can hear me. Okay, no problem. I'm just adding
Yes.
someone else in.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I've got some new people, other people that are joining us. Okay. Miranda?
Mm.
Okay. Hopefully she'll join us again. Miranda?
Yes,
Okay, want to be certain that you can hear me. Good
I
morning. How are
can.
you?
Good morning. Fine,
Okay,
how are you?
excellent. I'm doing well. Sometimes it's difficult to determine if it's me that has muted you or when you came in, you decided to mute yourself because you can't control your own video and audio at the same time. So at this particular time, I've unmuted everyone. Unless you go back and you mute yourself. The key thing is bearing in mind that when we are all talking over each other, it does make it difficult to hear each other. So what I ask is that if you have a question or a comment, if you will just raise your hand, that
Yeah.
will make it easy for me to see you and welcome you in. At the same time, I also request that you not use the chat feature, because when you do, it is somewhat distracting for me because I'm trying to address the email or your chat question at the same time that I'm trying to monitor the entire class. So if you will assist me with that, it is appreciated and we will move forward. So for today, I made the decision that it would be nice that we have a word for today. And my word for this week for the class is thriving. And I chose that word because I think it's such a positive word. And we are thriving in the midst of everything that's going on. We are still here. We are still able to enjoy each other. So our word for today is thriving. Are we good with that?
Yes.
Good word.
Hey, I'm thriving.
Good word.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, moving forward, I share with you or trying to get everyone to think about the fact that there are a few of us that are part of these jewelry classes that have not had the benefit of having online or hands-on in a classroom environment with me. So I have been trying to come up with ways to more or less give the person kind of a wraparound so that they're not remote and not having the benefit of having me or someone else in that classroom to help guide them through. What I have been working on is doing a series of video clips to aid in the training. And thus far, Miranda, who has been with us, and I've done a lot of communication with Miranda because she has become my first person to have the benefit of one of my video clips to assist her in her beginning training as far as jewelry making. So I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Miranda, but I wanted to ask you because she and I have been going back and forth using the email address. And I think that has really worked for me because it's nice for me to be able to just communicate with that person and address what's going on with them. So Miranda, have you had opportunity to watch the video yet?
I did. It was good and it's going to be helpful. So when I'm able to get some supplies, I'm definitely going to try it. Very good video.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to compliment me in any way. What I'm really striving for is you saying that I'm able to take that and help you somewhat so that you can see the details, because that's the thing I find is missing. When you're trying to have a virtual classroom and not sometimes being able to get down to seeing the hands actually performing the action. So stay tuned with me, Miranda, and your comments are welcome. So
Okay, looking forward to more. Looking forward to more.
hey, speaking of more, over the weekend, I did do a second segment. And this one I did on making the earrings. I will hold that back. I won't put that out to you yet. We'll get past phase number 1. But I think the little video clips will really help a lot. At least that's my intent.
How do we access those? When you put them out there, how will we be able to access those?
Okay, 2 things. I am hoping at some point that Fulton County will launch the video on the Fulton County, what is that, YouTube site. But in the meantime, what I've done is, if someone is in need of additional support, what I did with Miranda is I sent that video directly to her. So if you find that, although I know most of you are beyond the basic things, but if it's like when I did the earrings video, I have not distributed that yet. But the email address that I gave to you, well, some of you are new, gave to you to communicate with me, you can send me the request and say, you know, well, would you share that video? But it's my hope that these videos will go up on the YouTube site. But at the same time, even if they do, it does not mean that someone may go directly there. So I'm using them as, you know, sending it directly to you, and you can open it up and then you'll be able to view it.
Okay.
How's that?
That's good.
Okay. But everyone does have the email address that I gave you to communicate with, right? Okay. I'll repeat it again. It's akcrafty1@gmail.com. And I really, truly am very grateful to Miranda, because she was able to, with her communication with me, was able to assist me at the same time in being able to figure out what I needed to do. And she was really prompting, responding back to the emails, and hopefully I did the same. So it's worked out really well. Yay, Miranda.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you. All right. The comment about supplies, and this has been one of the other things that I made notes that I got through the email request, was, once again, it was questions regarding supplies, particularly when you are at home and not able to get out or did not have supplies, from being in class or purchasing supplies in the past. I've done some investigation, and pretty much the only supplier that I can find that's really good and getting the material to you, other than you having to go outside to a Michael's, or I think Michael's was the only store that I saw or received notification from. There may be others. It's still Fire Mountain. Fire Mountain, price-wise, is extremely competitive in price. I did check. The last time their price was $5.99 for shipping, no matter the quantity. And I assume that's still the same price, because I wasn't able to find anything else that had changed as far as that. So if you are in need of supplies and cannot source them, then I would recommend Fire Mountain. I did bring one of the catalogs just so I can show you, but the site is Fire Mountain Gems.
Yeah.
Is it .com is their website address. And yeah, it is .com. So the other thing is, so if you know, the prices are really, really good. So if you're desperate for supplies, try them. In addition to, if you are working from home and you have some old jewelry, my recommendation, if you are a beginner and you have a piece of jewelry, not a, you know, beads or something like that, nothing expensive. If you want to take that apart, Because if you do that, then you will also have your beads as well as your closure and all to attach back to it. The one thing that concerns me about taking apart a piece of jewelry is that you still need some type of string and wire to use. So that may become an issue for you, but at the same time, if you decide you're going to order from Fire Mountain, you will be able to source your string and wire at the same time.
Okay.
Are there any questions about that or comments? If someone else has a different experience, feel free to share that. Are you ordering supplies?
Yeah.
Got every supply I could ever need.
Mary, you said you are.
Couple of years collecting.
Hold on 1 second, Deborah. I'm sorry. What did you say, Mary?
From a Fire Mountain, the shipping was $5.99 unless you wanted to expedite it. But mine came relatively fast.
Okay. So it's still $5.99 for the flat
It's
shipping fee?
$5.99.
Okay, okay, all right. I apologize, Deborah. You were
No.
saying?
I was just laughing because my first couple of years in jewelry, I just spent those years collecting supplies and using my coupons at Michael's. So no,
Okay.
supplies, not an issue.
Right, okay. Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure where people are traveling as far as being outside. And at the same time, excuse me here, I didn't want to encourage someone to just go outside if they can source it. I've been ordering everything. Fortunately, I don't have to order anything because I have supplies, but being concerned, good morning, about the people that have no supplies at this point. Is it Hafiza?
Yes,
Good morning. Did I get that right?
yes.
Oh, okay, well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so nevertheless, these are the areas that I get the most questions on, are the things that were left for me on the email address about the supply part of it.
Let me see
Okay,
if I can turn it down a little.
okay, you got it. Now, what I am trying to get everyone to focus on, if you have been in class, we constantly talk about projects and the question being asked, well, can you give us a project? My comment is still the same, simply because it's very difficult, or I would not want to put someone in the position of trying to source things
Just in case.
for a project when you may or may not have the supplies, which is why we're looking at this as
And
training.
this would be worthwhile for you.
All right. Okay, I'm having to mute for the moment. I'm reminding everybody about the background, please. So this forum is really open studio forum where you are free to take whatever supplies you may have on hand and make your items. If you run into a problem with something you're working on, of course, you can always contact me. The training video that's necessary for the new people that have no background is what I'm focusing on. But I just want to make certain, I'm unmuting everyone again, that, you know, that I don't want you to get into a financial bind trying to secure things that you trying to work against a project. Are we all clear with that?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
You
Hafiza,
Yes,
okay, when I spoke with you the last time, I'm trying to remember, you had no background at all, is that correct?
just
You
Just
did the
limit-
stretch bracelet things, is
yeah,
that?
just limited. But
Okay,
I couldn't. I didn't write down your email address correctly, so
okay,
apparently you didn't get an email from me, right?
I did not.
So I didn't write it down correctly. Could you tell me it?
Certainly, it's AK
AK.
Crafty, CRAFTY, the number
Oh,
1,
crafty.
1
Oh,
at gmail.com.
at Gmail.
Correct.
Okay. You mentioned YouTube videos. There's YouTube videos?
They are YouTube videos, but for a beginner like you would be the individual that I would send my basic video to help you along.
Okay.
Because I was looking for your email and I did not see it.
Yeah, I think I wrote it wrong.
Okay, do you have it now?
AKCRAFTY
Correct.
1
Correct.
at Gmail. Okay.
Right. So if you'll send me an email, then I will pick up your email address, and then that way I can send you the new documentation that you need, as well as the hands-on video that will help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A cookie.
Great.
Okay. Yes, Mary.
She forgot to say .com.
All right. Well, okay. akcrafty1 at gmail.com. Thank you, Mary.
And the number 1 too, not spelled out.
Right. Just the number 1. All right. We're good.
Good.
I also received a question regarding polymer clay. That was brought up from Nancy Show and Tell last week in the polymer clay. There are a number of you that have been involved with polymer clay before. And once again, I am just reminding you that you are open to work in whatever medium you choose to, if you've been been around or been in the classes. So polymer clay, just giving you a quick overview on this. Deborah is here today, and that's her specialty. But it does require, it's an inexpensive craft, I think. However, it does require some special tools. I see that, Deborah. But I say inexpensive, but it does require some tools. I mean, pasta machine, a toaster oven, or an oven. So there are some things, and of course there are a lot of stamps and other things. It's one of those things initially, it's really easy to get started because a block of clay is only $3, $3.50 now, something like that. But there are all of these other things that are, as you perfect yourself, that there are investments into. I know the extruders and all of those things. So it all depends on how far or how deep you want to get into your craft. If you see these things, it's not something that's being held back from you. It's just simply that that person has worked and moved to a different level in a different medium. When and a lot of these things have been introduced in our classroom environment. So it takes some time to build up. And what has always been pleasing to me is that when we had the opportunity to be in a classroom environment, people found their niche. They found what worked for them. And that is overall fantastic. So be patient. It does not mean that you won't get there if you find you're interested in some other component. I just want you to be aware it's not something that's being kept from you. It's just that that's something that individual may have been introduced to. So this is where we are. So now it's open for comments, questions, before we talk about show and tell or anything else that people have to present today. No questions? Yes, Mary.
You remember the book I was talking about? You told me go to thrift book. Who is it by?
For thriftbooks.com, the 2 books I was talking about. Wow. Let's see if I have the notes.
I went looking, but I didn't know. I saw your picture, but I couldn't find the picture.
what I will have to do is, I think my notes up on my desk.
Okay,
I
well,
will email it. to
Beater's
you, Mary.
Companion, I think, is what she's talking about.
Oh, that was one. Well, the Beater's Companion, but there was a second book also.
but you're
I
making-
remember this one, Mary, was
Oh, that
one.
wasn't it. It was
But
a
no,
book.
no, no, there were two books
Oh, okay.
that didn't have to do with beating. I'll email those to you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I still have a list. I know what you're referring to. You know, one was like $6.79 and the other one was like $3.99 or something, but was thriftbooks.com.
Okay.
I will email that to you. Okay, yes. Any other questions? We're good? Oh, I'm sorry, ladies. One more person is waiting here. Okay, does anyone have anything for show and tell?
I have a little bracelet.
All right, we'll start with Ellen first. Ashante, I just had somebody else join. I apologize here.
I don't know.
Okay, Ellen, go ahead.
It's a little peyote strip, even count.
Okay,
Instead of a clasp, a regular clasp, I just use a volley button.
okay, for your closure.
And it's the same
Okay.
back and front.
Oh, okay. Very nice. And you said it's even count, correct?
Yes, it's even
Oh.
count.
Okay, all right. Deborah.
Well, I had, I pulled out a necklace that I actually started when I was taking your class, and it's been put away. And I was going to finish it and have it to show you, but what I found is that now these are some of the components, because it didn't happen, because what happened is, if you could see where this is a polymer clay piece that I had coiled some wire, that the intention was going to be 3 pieces connected. And so when I don't really know how, so it would be these 3 pieces connected. But what happened when I started to string it, it was coming off from where I had glued it years ago. So now I have to
The
go
coil
back.
piece?
Yeah, the coil piece to attach it. So I'm going to have to work on that and get it stabilized again and then put it together. But that bead itself is a bead that's polymer clay that has some texture on it. It has some different, it's a chemical that makes it look like it, what do you call it? Patina. It's got
Right.
some patina on it. And it also has some different powders. So the idea was to connect all of these together, and then the third piece that would be on the bottom. So I'll put it all together next week, because at this point, as you can see, all of the coils, which was good. I found out that this will come apart. I need a stronger glue. So that was a good lesson when I pulled that out.
Oh, 2 questions for you. Why would you not attach the coil to the uncured clay?
And I did, as you could see right here, if you can see that little piece of wire, you
Yes.
see it? But
Yes.
what I should have done is, I said, this was the beginning. I was just starting, that I
Okay.
should have made a hook at the bottom so that it wouldn't slide out, because just pushing the
And
wire
push it down
in
into the
straight,
clay, right?
it's
Okay.
coming out now. Now I know better than that.
Right.
But at
Okay.
the time, I wasn't aware. So this was a good learning piece for me now to repair. But never just put the wire straight down like that. You can see that little piece hanging.
Okay.
on
I'm
the
not
side.
certain that the Loctite glue, the impact on the clay, but I like Loctite. It works really well and it's liquefied, but you might want to test it on a piece of clay before you do that, just to make certain that there's no reaction to it, you know, from the
Yeah,
glue.
so that's what happened there. I put the wire in straight, And then when I took it out, I did bit glue, but it over the years, it's all come apart.
Okay.
Then also what I have been making, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the stuff at the art exhibits, but I do a lot with dragonflies because I like dragonflies. And I think in particular now, dragonflies are really significant because the spiritual meaning of a dragonfly, and I'm just going to read this, it symbolizes change, transformation, and adaptability, which is everything that we're doing right now. We're in the middle of change. We're having to transform our lives as well as adapt to a changing world. So I make these little dragonflies. These are magnets right here, and they're all polymer clay. And this is what I use spare clay with. When you just have a bunch of spare clay, and you know, I'll combine them and try to come up with different canes to press into a mold that I have for the dragonfly. So these are all on a magnet. You can put them on your refrigerator, or you can wear them. You have the magnet, and you put what you do is you put the magnet on one side and this, and then you have the other one, and then you just take it and you attach it that way. So rather than a pin, it's more versatile, because if I want to put it on the refrigerator and use it as a magnet, or if I want to wear it, I could do that. And these also are made from clay. And this one has some glitter and some powders, some mica powders on them.
Right.
So that's all I have. Oh, and my earring that I'm wearing, it has, this also was a cane that, you can see the bottom is a cane that I had made. And then the top is also pressed into a mold. It has some texture on it. And then I just added some turquoise to finish them off. So
beautiful.
That's what I'm sharing today.
I just want to make a comment. Deborah's point about using the magnets. The rule is when you use magnets, and you can have magnets for closures, is that you have to be aware. Magnets are not good to have around a person that may have pacemakers or things like that, or some certain metals in the body. That is one of the key things that you need to remember about using magnets when you're making jewelry or anything else, is that be certain, particularly if you're passing it on to someone else, that they may not have a component in their body that may become a problem using a magnet. Hopefully, let's see, we only have about 7 minutes left here. I wanted to see if I can pull this up. So bear with me for a moment, please. This is, can you see this?
Yep,
Yes or no?
Wow, pretty.
I can.
Okay, this is a piece that Mary sent in, Mary Woods. So I wanted to show that. And then the other piece that she sent to me is this setup. The reason in particular I wanted to try this because I wanted everyone to know, if you're doing a show and tell, and for some reason you're not certain, if you send me a picture of your item.
And because somebody's talking over you and we can't hear you.
Okay, I apologize. What I wanted to try that because there's a share feature to remind everybody, if you want to do something with show and tell, like Ellen's bracelet, where we really couldn't see the details of it. I mean, I pretty much know because I know the peyote, is that if you will send me a picture, a JPEG, take a picture with your phone or something, send it to that email address, then I can save it and we can open it up on screen, and then people will have a better view. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Oh, don't hit me with 1,000 pictures now.
Oh.
All of a sudden, it's everything that you've been saving. However, week by week by week, we'll try to get it up there. But that's also another option, and I think that's a good one. I love that, or any other information. So, Miss Cookie,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Oh, God, then that was us talking. I'm sorry, my mom can't hear you. My mom took a jewelry class with Joan, I don't even know her last name, at the Benson Center.
Okay.
Joan or Joanne, I think it looked like Joanne, but it was Joan. So, and I was helping her. So we're going to check this out and see, if this might work for us.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, just keep me posted.
Okay, I will.
And Edie Clark, I don't recognize Edie. Edie,
Yes.
are you new to jewelry making or?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so are you looking forward to trying to learn more about it, or are you just visiting the class?
I'm looking forward to learning more out of it. This is my first time visiting this class at the center or here.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, what I'm asking from you is if you will be so kind as to connect to my email address so that I can forward some beginner's documentation to you so that you'll be able to look over it and determine, where you want to go with this.
Okay, and that address is?
It's the akcrafty1@gmail.com.
.com.
Yes.
akcrafty1@gmail.com.
Correct.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, we have about 3 minutes. So where would we like to go moving forward? Because I'm really trying to focus on anything that you feel you need help with or any information that I can provide to you, recognizing that we're doing this in a virtual environment, but I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to feel as if we're still in the classroom and the information can be given to you, and I will try to keep my hands around you as much as I can from afar. So I do want you to move along and become competent at what we're doing. But I just need your input in areas where you think that I can assist you more. And I know everybody's got that wrapping down for making those loops, correct? Deborah, obviously you do because you have your earrings connected.
Yeah.
No one else? No, nothing else I need to do video-wise? We're good?
We don't know enough to ask the right questions, so.
Okay, well, Cookie, will you be able to send me an email address so that I can communicate with you?
Absolutely, I've got it written down. So
Excellent.
I will
Okay.
do that. And again, it's really my mom that's with the Benson Center, so I will give you her name and what have you.
That would be great. Mary.
All right.
Yeah, the loop thing, because I have those Mary loops, and the loop thing with me, y'all.
Well, I'll have to consider just doing a snippet on the loops again.
Yeah, the loops again.
Yeah.
The loops always practice, practice, practice. Okay, excellent. All right, so we have about a minute left. Mary, I will send you the list of books
Okay.
from Thrift
And
Books.
we would like those also. Cookie would like to also.
Okay, I can do that. Just send me that email address for you, Cookie.
Yes, ma'am.
And I can take care of that. So it's been wonderful again seeing everyone. These are changing times. I'm really happy that we're still able to do this, but I'm about to end our meeting because we have about a minute left. I always hate it when we get cut off and you're not able to say goodbye, but stay in touch, be safe, and hopefully I'll see each of you next week.
Will do.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Deborah.
Okay.